Hi everyone, Paul here again. I wanted to briefly go over the Getting Started page for remote student learning and classroom instruction for middle school. So you can see on the front here, I have listed some of the digital platforms approved by OUSD where you can communicate with your students, push out lessons, start discussions. Um, I'm going to be focusing on Envision's digital platform. So if I scroll down here, I have some links for tutorials. You're on the Getting Started right now. There's also student-facing technology, which lets you see what the student sees on their end of Envision when you give them assignments or start discussions. And this is communicating with your students. Ideas, if you're not familiar with Envision's digital platform, just a couple ideas to make it easy to communicate with your students while they're at home. If you continue to scroll down, we have an example of what your lesson could look like. Now, I want you to take note that I put a 3-day cycle here for a couple reasons. One is just because throughout Envision, they usually are suggesting two 45-minute periods or one 90-minute period to get through a lesson. However, they'll be at home, so that's obviously going to change. They're not going to have the supports from their teacher like they do at school. It won't be readily available. So I stretch it out into 3 days, but then also keep in mind that the math chair department did make these secondary math course guidelines that you see right here. It's a link. So it's going to be dependent upon the content covered of how long it'll take. So use your teacher judgment, you know your class, and also you're able to use those course guides as a guideline for days. The idea here, whether it be 3 days or 2 or 4, is you still would assign these activities in day 1, possibly these in day 2, and then day 3 ending with your assessments where you can then review their work and give them feedback. So in this format, once day 3 would be over, you would then go to your next topic lesson and start day 1 again. Right here, I have some possible suggestions. You can send home the homeschool connection to the students and parents so they are aware of the activities and topic content being covered. And each one is a link, so if you're not familiar with the digital platform, just click the link and it'll jump you to a how-to video on how to send that out. Then moving down to today's challenge, you may go ahead and assign that to them. And there's a link there to assign it. And down here, student-facing technology, like I told you, that's what the student sees. If you're not familiar with the digital platform, check this out because today's challenge is digitally interactive. So the student is able to write on that and turn it into you so that you can see it. Then you have these visual learning examples down here on day 1 to continue. Now, keep in mind that some of these items are in PDF form and that they're not digitally interactive. However, when you look at student-facing technology, the students can easily upload their work on as a file or a photo within that activity itself. Therefore, they're still able to show you their work and get assistance from you so you can help them out. Moving into day 2, possibility is you're posting the answers of day 1 from the challenge, having those discussions. Again, you could be using the discussion format from Envision. You may be using Google Classroom to have these discussions. Moving down, you have your practice. Not sure, click on a video there so that you could assign them practice. And then finally on day 3, working through today's challenge again, which I know extends throughout the entire topic. So on day 3, you're just continuing on your whatever day of the challenge you're on, and then having those discussions with students, revisiting any misconceptions they may have, and continuing also to work through maybe a few more of those practice and problem solvings. And then finally, you can assign their lesson quiz and customize it. If you want to delete questions or add to them, just click on there. It'll show you how to do that. So I will state one more time. I know I've said it before, but go ahead and click this link, communicating with your students, to give you ideas on how to communicate straight through Envision. It's actually a very user-friendly platform, and the students should not have trouble using it to post a comment, have a discussion, upload content, and then also use those digitally interactive pieces. And then finally, if you scroll down, if you want to use additional resources from California Common Core, these have great short problem solving activities in illustrative mathematics. There's longer projects in Mars Assessment Project website. And then finally, there's Inside Mathematics that gives some teaching methods and insights and tools for mathematics. That said, if you're using these three items down here, the easiest method to get that information to the students, since you'd be working a lot with maybe PDFs or uploading photos or text, I would use Google Classroom. And Google Classroom, there are videos on how to start a Google Classroom, and there'll be more on how to utilize the platform itself. And you can find those right here in OUSD Math YouTube channel. So I hope this getting started was helpful to you, and I will talk to you later.